Hey everybody, I am on for the midweek message reveal, Wednesday, May 7th. Thanks for hanging out here with me, and let's talk about the energy this week. Okay, so we have had Pluto move into Aquarius, and this energy is pretty intense. Now, what Pluto in Aquarius is asking is, through the shadows and through the darkness and through the mirrors that we essentially project out, we are receiving a lot back of the things that may trigger us, may make us feel insecure, may make us feel a sense of instability or lack of confidence. It's really going to kind of needle in on that. And Aquarius energy is actually looking at the structures and is looking at where power lies and wanting to take power from the smaller group and give it to something that it can be better utilized in a better way by the greater whole and the collective. So that collective energy is there too. Now, what Pluto energy is really asking is, how do you wield and release power? How do you utilize the energy that is given to you? And what do you do with the responsibility of said power or said release? And what benefits you most, and what has less spillover casualty for others the least. So this desire for a collective systems change is the energy of late. There's a want, and we see this all over the place in the world right now, am I right? Where there is a need for there to be a genuine shift in the way things are done, not in the way they've been done before, or something new needs to come in its place because we haven't been at this level before. There's a frequency that is being beamed at us actually because of the Schumann resonance and solar flares. We have such cosmic energy that is moving through us as well, that we are experiencing extreme disorientation. And that's not just something that's happening that's playing out in the world stage before our eyes. It's also something that we're feeling within our bodies, as there's some wired and tiredness. There's definitely fatigue, feeling almost as if time is stretchy, where it's slowing down or moving up, and not correlating so much with circadian rhythm. Lots of disruption there in sleep time. Very common for what's happening here. Now, we also have Mercury moving into Taurus on Saturday, and 11th and 12th, we have the full moon in Scorpio. So Mercury is where we are leaning into our communication. It's how we speak about who it is that we are. And in Taurus, it's asking for us to really speak about what we fundamentally believe and understand that words are seeds. That is the biggest lesson here with this energy, and what we're asking to be brought out into fruition, where we speak it out into our reality, what it is that we want to come back in abundance, and what we are looking to bring into our reality and our experience that we can utilize in order for us to be on our highest path and be our coolest, dopest selves, right? Full moon in Scorpio is going to try to transform through that birth-death process. So there's going to be some letting goes. There's going to be some door slams. There's going to be some deep release. And there's going to be a purging. And that energy, while it can be kind of scary, is, as long as you understand what it's designed to do and work with it, you can have a gentler situation. And this is not to say that anything's against anyone. It's just more, this is intense. You're going to feel it. Pay attention to the fact that you're feeling it and do something with it rather than work against it. Why? Just let it be. Understand that it's meant to help move energy through, and what no longer stands, while it's something that can be, of course, felt and grieved for, that's not to say that things aren't important. It's just, maybe look back and see, haven't you been grieving it for a minute, like it's already been gone? That vibe. That's the part that feels weird. That's the part that keeps you from going all the way into saying you're done. This moon energy, whether you want it or not, will kind of close the availability of the wishy-washy energy that you've been sitting in. And I mean you as in collective you, not just you. All right, so I'm going to jump into the readings here. As always, would love to work with you. Here's my website. Reach out to me. I'm thinking about working in a Facebook group format. So if you're interested in maybe wanting to be a part of that with me, would you please put below that yes, you want to join the group? That would be cool. And I can send you some information once I get that together. So something I've been kind of playing around on, and maybe want to hang out in a different way. Okay, so cool. Thanks for the feedback. All right, so moving on to the readings. Here we go with 1. If you chose 1, here is your guy here. And my light died, but this looks nice and natural. Okay, 1. Connecting with your energy. There's something that you're not, that you've drawn a line in the sand on. And the vibe here is, good job. Good job with that. That was tough. And it's not something that comes easily to you. It has the vibe of maybe causing some sort of confrontation, and that is just not your wheelhouse. And I understand that. It's not necessarily mine. You can kind of get pushed to a point where you do react. And you don't want to see yourself go there. Why? Because this feels similar to a situation you've been in within the last, I'd have to say 7 to 8 months. Take a look back. Take a look back to last year, where you were having some sorts of difficulties in feeling like you could be your full self. So understand that this sort of tit for tat energy that's happening is really designed to get you to hold that line in the sand that you have put down. Doing things differently does require you to be in a different state of mind, and that of late has been difficult to get into. Some of this has to do with, some of it is your motivation, and it's not, there's no shame, no shade. It's just been energetically difficult for things to get moving right now. Taurian energy is slow and wants to be, the big fat happy cow in the grass, and wants to kind of chill, and wants to sit and feel it into it before it makes a decision to get up off its ass, right? And I know this from personal experience. So, in that being said, there's a need for you to kind of give yourself a little bit of space and grace. I do feel that a majority of you have big fire sign energy that's causing this to be more annoying than anything else. This will get moving, and you will be in a better spot when it comes to your return on your investment, because you kind of drew a line in the sand, and now you're like, now what? What do I do now? Because you haven't been in this space before. You haven't spoken up for yourself like you have. And this is different territory. Allow some things to shake out. And with the energy of the full moon that's on 11th, 12th, depending on where you're at, ask for extra release here. Ask for some assistance in getting rid of the heaviness of carrying the emotional load of this relationship, friendship, situationship. For some, it's more of a workplace thing. But even then, when you spend a lot of time somewhere, you need to let the energy of the place go. And for others, it's actually getting rid of objects and things that have been hanging out for a long time. So if you're feeling like you need to let some things go, and you've getting kind of gnawing sort of reminders, or feeling a sense of, maybe even some of you are making yourself feel kind of guilty for holding on to this stuff. That not necessarily is very helpful. You took the time you needed, and that's what this is all about. With the full moon energy in Scorpio on the 11th, 12th, utilize this opportunity to release and see it as a choice to close the door and turn with intention towards the one that is a better fit. Okay? All right, moving on to 2. All right, you chose 2. This is your beautiful, beautiful crystal. Oh, there we go. Okay. Connecting with your energy too, I actually feel a lot of attention to my belly, and it's kind of in a more of a sacral sort of womb space way, where there's a pulling in the womb space, and this is an energy that's asking for there to be more space and time given in the evening. there needs to be more of a down time before sleeping. There's been difficulty with your sleep as well as digestion. And this has felt almost like there's been like a gurgling and like a bubbling in the belly. Again, disclaimer, I am not a medical doctor. This is purely energetic. So if you are having any issues or pains, please seek a medical professional. That is not myself. I am doing this in a different way. Please understand, and I know you do. All right. Anyway, back to the energy of it. There's it's almost as if there's a clearing and a detoxing that's happening here. You've recently made a change, and this change that is in routine, and some of this is in diet. Some of it has come about not through something that you've wanted. So it's not that you've decided that you want to lose 5 pounds and you've put yourself on smoothies in the morning and Greek yogurt or something like that. This is more something has caused you to either be turned off by certain foods or turn away from certain foods. And I'm just, when things feel right, I feel tickly on my face, so that's what I'm doing. And with this energy, there's almost a want to figure out why maybe your system isn't tolerating certain foods that it has in the past. And understand that while tastes change, your energy is actually seeking things that are more in vibration with where your energy is at, your current vibration. So you've really been working on yourself, and you've really been prioritizing looking into this. And your team is asking you not to make yourself feel bad. Put it down. Put down the blame. Put down the feeling like you're not doing it right. That's not how this works. You're doing the best you can, and you're rolling with the punches. And the fact that you are in awareness that there is something going on and that you're looking to remedy it, or you're looking to lean into the lessons of making a change, or just even listening to your body. A lot of this is getting you to slow down and pay attention and be more mindful about what goes into your body, what you consume, even in a way that is through the music that you listen to, the media that you consume, the people that you hang out with, the environments that you're in, and what qualities you're looking for in order to support the growth that you're desiring. And this is just another notch up the ladder. It's just a small incremental one, so it doesn't feel super huge, but you've been making these all the way along. So don't feel like you've plateaued. It's so small and incremental. And this slowdown is designed for you to have a different experience with softness and what it feels like to experience gentleness and ease with yourself, instead of this sort of domineering helicopter parenting thing that you do. And whew, girl, I know I have to do the same thing. Okay. All right, moving on to 3. You chose 3. What are we doing here? There we go. I love this one. It looks like the sea. It also looks like the earth from space. Okay. Connecting with your energy 3. You've had a lot of things sort of coming up with either siblings or cousins. There's a feeling of nostalgia that's coming around, and that feeling of nostalgia is connected to some of the things that you're experiencing in a life way, right? Say existential crisis. We all go through feeling into our humanity. And as you're getting older, you're starting to really see things in a different way. You're starting to notice too that maybe there's been some media, there's been some even songs. I'm seeing like VHS tapes. So old kids movies or movies that used to be on when you were growing up, or at your grandparents' house or family's house that were on in the background. You're seeing these things again, or they're coming up again, and you're getting all of the deep, dark, gritty sort of like, oh, this was for adults the whole time, and I had a completely different experience of what this movie was, or what this topic was, or what I thought this cartoon was about. So your perspective is shifting around that. And while that is changing, there is a desire for you to feel into your humanity and feel your mortality. And there's a longing of wanting to connect to people who you haven't seen, and also family members who you're wanting to spend more time with. So there's a feeling almost anticipated grief, which is a really sort of weird feeling. It's very hard to explain. It's bittersweet, and some of you as well are experiencing this through those who are aging or are having a difficult time. And this also extends to pets and animals that have been in the home, maybe more so in that regard, where there is a, as you're watching these little creatures that you've raised move into a different phase and struggle and recover and struggle and recover, and there is a different sort of appreciation for all of the things that you're experiencing, and it's adding a layer of seriousness that's a little bit morose. And not everybody who's in your circle right now can understand that, even though they can feel that you're experiencing something. Allow yourself to really move through the feelings of it with gratitude, because while it might seem like you're making yourself feel bad, you're really clearing out a lot of feelings of shame around expressing yourself and your feelings, around feeling deep and sensitive, vulnerable feelings to something or someone that people might see as inferior or not as sentient as a human, and applying some sort of judgment to that. And this is an exercise in you speaking your truth and experiencing your life and your heart through acquiring and losing and understanding the impermanence that is the human experience. As vast and as big as that sounds, it's all about giving yourself space. Even more so because the people who are questioning you are going to be the ones who will understand you better as they experience similar things themselves. And you have a deeper capacity to withhold that initial heaviness, so you can hold space for them. And it's just, in a way, it's kind of an honor. And that doesn't mean it feels great or isn't heart-wrenching. So, with you on that 100%. Okay, so those are the messages this week. Would love to hear how they land for you, so please leave me some feedback. Would love to hear, would love to work with you. So check me at my website. And again, please reach out and let me know just by commenting below if you're interested in the group on Facebook. And I will be reaching out to you with some info once I get that hammered down, but I'm going to take a little poll there. Okay, girl? All right. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Make sure to utilize the moon. Make sure to give yourself some space and some rest, and know that I'm cheering for you. All right.